to, for revival, for souls, and for an awakening in each one of the countries. So that's pretty much what we're
And we
doing.
start midday and finish midnight.
Yeah, we start at 12 noon, and we go to 12 midnight, 12 hours, and we're going to be right here praying. And then, of course, for those that aren't in the area, you're going to be able to tune in all over the world and pray with us for our brothers and sisters around the world. So 12 noon to 12 midnight Eastern time.
Amen. And then just mention again, we talked a little bit about Cape Town, that we'll be coming live into the sanctuary.
That's going to be April 19th, 20th, and 21st, Friday night at 7 p.m. their time, Friday night their time, and then 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. So what is that? That's 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock here Friday.
And then 11 o'clock Saturday and Sunday Eastern time. And we're going to be able to beam right into here. Pastor had a great idea to put the stage in the center, which has never happened in that stadium, ever in Athlon Stadium. It's a game changer. It's just phenomenal. It's going to be great. It opens up all the seating in the round. We have the north, south, east, and west corners that come in. Actually, people are going to be able to come in, and we're building a whole screens over each of the four
Who's back
corners.
in television? Who can tell me who's back there tonight? Somebody should know immediately. Huh? Jake, I'm sending you the pic. You can get it right.
And
put it up. Just put it up while we're talking. This is a picture of the stadium. You see the layout of how we're doing it.
And so when it comes up, I can show you, but just was we were having a strategy meeting on the road, and Dr. Ronnie came up with the whole idea of what he wanted. And we sent it over, and we had favor with the city because we have to replace a portion of the field, because obviously we have to repair the field and do all of these different things. But it's really going to be amazing. And, and you'll hear tomorrow in the prayer meeting, we've had great favor with churches, pastors, and leaders coming on board from the townships to the local areas. We have buses running. We've really listened, like up with Apostle here, like from Kyalicha. We've really listened, like in the townships or the informal settlements, you have to use taxis because it's very dangerous at night. You can't have a bus drop somebody off and they walk 4 blocks to their house. So we literally have hundreds of taxis that are basically taking people back to their homes to keep people safe. No, it's a big deal.
We're paying for that.
Yeah, we're paying for all of this.
We're paying for that.
So in the townships, we're running taxis, and in the city, we're running buses, and where it's a little bit safer in some of the areas. So we're really committed to the local pastors, and then we kicked off Operation Andrew, which is amazing. John chapter 1, and each church is committed, each member to pray for and bring 7 unchurched.
There's the stadium. You can see where the stages are going to go right in the middle, and the people will sit in the round. In actual fact, on the edge of where the seating is a fence where we can bring the seating down onto the main floor, which shows you how the altar call now will come right around the platform. I mean, this is really going to work out well. You see in the corners of the entrances into the stadium the giant screens. There's screens on every side, so there will be screens, but they won't take up to where we would lose 4,700 seats behind the platform. This way we lose no seats, 30,000 people, and we can do whatever God tells us to do. So I'm very excited about it. Yeah.
It's going to be a double-level platform, so we'll have the band and everything on the lower level. Then he'll step up, like right here, and be able to preach and just preach in the whole round. And then just like you have a screen over us right here, that will be the entrance on the corners. People will come in those 4 corners, and the screens will be above. So it's going to be awesome. It's not going to be...
We have, I believe, 12 cameras.
That's right.
From every angle, and a boom, big boom camera. So it's going to be great shots. I mean, you don't feel like you're right there, smack dab in the middle of it, so, which is what we want to do. And
so as Pastor Rodney said, as you see those north, south, east, and west, those 4 areas where the seats are, then picture that flowing up to the stage with seating being just like that, coming in with, and where the screens are, there'll be aisles coming where the 4 screens are. There'll be aisles going to the platform right there. So it's gonna be really cool, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, if you can put the video, the drone shot of the stadium, so people can now see it's a beautiful stadium. Just put the drone shot of the stadium up, if you would, please.
The sheer amount of meetings you can't even imagine with the city and safety officials and permits. And I mean, we have, for this event, I believe the number is 550 security. 550 security just for this event. Because you also, out on the outside, you have all bus parking, you have all taxi ran parking, you have the regular parking, so you have to protect that. You got everybody coming in, so I believe it's 550 just in security for this event. So it's a major, major, major undertaking, and it's amazing what's happening. And what I was saying, and we put the video up, there it is. So those corners where that pole is, that's where the screen will be, where people come in, right where the light pole is.
Plus the fence will be removed so people be coming, the continuation of the seating with the podium right in the middle. Somebody said, what if it rains? We get wet. What if it rains? We preach in the rain. So it's just going to be awesome.
So basically with transportation, each church, because when you do crusades, number one question is always going to be, what about follow-up? I mean, that's just the way it is. And we believe in follow-up, but what we're doing is we put it back on the pastors. Here's the way it works. Everyone in your congregation prays for 7 unchurched or backslidden people, and they have to bring them. If you're riding a bus, you have to bring an unchurched person with you. You run in a taxi, you bring an unchurched person with you. And then we have bus marshals for each bus and each taxi. That bus marshal, so the entire, like tomorrow you'll see Pastor Kyle and Pastor Julian with a massive map that we printed, which handles all of Mitchell's Plain, Kailicha, all the townships. We have all of the city, every house, everything mapped out on a massive wall. And then on that wall, you'll see churches. Every supportive church is mapped out. That supportive church adopts a bus route and a taxi route, and they have to put a bus marshal there. So when the pastor puts a bus marshal there, it's almost like a pastor of the bus. And so when they come for the 3 days, and we've encouraged people to come all 3 days, not pick a day. Because in revival, you can't just have a revival in one day. I mean, this is a flow that Dr. Rodney will have for the 3 days. So we encourage them to come all 3 days. Same bus marshal for all 3 days, for each taxi and bus. And then when they bring the unchurched or backslidden people, as they get saved or get healed or have an encounter with God, then that bus marshal's job is to invite that person that was on the bus or the taxi back to the local church that Sunday. The following Sunday, they have a Friendship Sunday. And then every person, because listen, you're not going to go through the town without seeing a billboard, without seeing newspaper ad, without seeing radio or TV. And everybody's going to know. We have guests, very famous, actually saved, great, Jonathan Rubain, and then the other gentlemen that we brought on are great people that people know. So people are going to come to the event when they get saved or rededicate their life. Then that bus marshal that has a relationship with people that we provided transportation for is going to invite them back to their local church after the event on Sunday morning. We encourage them to have a braai or a barbecue or something like that, so that, and that's why Titus, Pastor Titus Satoli, you had a great idea of having him come to the pastors and leaders meeting in Cape Town, and he testified when we were in Mamelodi that he did exactly what we recommended. We put the banners up. Every church had a banner up, which it matches everything that we do from the flyers and everything. And Pastor Rodney gets up and says, look, we don't know all the churches in town, but we do know this. The ones that have this banner up are all about souls, and they got involved, and they did everything. You need to go to a church. If you don't have a church, you go to the church that has that banner up. And that's what we do. And then in Mamelodi, we did that. And from that crusade in Mamelodi, not only did his church explode, he had so many, and his whole idea was just to bring people to his church, but there was too many So he started 5 brand new churches out of that crusade. And all from new converts, and this is what he said, new converts, and all 5 of those churches still exist today. Now, his ministry exploded and is doing great, but it all happened because as a local pastor, he took ownership of the crusade. Because it's not really our crusade. We're coming to lift the hands up of the local pastors and leaders. We're going in and doing, but their blood's in the soil. We know we leave. So the churches, and that's why we can, and Dr. Rodney says this, we can honestly say a church that gets fully on board is going to grow. If they do what we say, it's not about us handing them, the old days of us handing them 5,000 commitment cards where they can't read the writing and try to call everybody. We don't do it that way. We do it through relationship evangelism, and a church that gets involved like that will grow. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.